Hello everyone, welcome to the French desk. Today we will be beginning with lesson 9 of our book Enchanté part 1. So this chapter is titled Où habites-tu, which means where do you live? So whenever you want to ask someone where he or she lives in an informal situation, you will be asking Où habites-tu, but when you have to ask the same question in a formal setting and to someone who is elder to you, you'd be saying Où habitez-vous, right? Où habites-tu in an informal situation and Où habitez-vous in a formal situation. Okay, so now let's read this dialogue. Hey Sarah, did you know that the first nation states were created in the 17th century? Oh, that's interesting. Then France too must have come into existence during that time. So here we'll be reading about some nationalities and what they're called in French. So this is an interesting chapter and also easy to learn. The nationalities we're going to study here. So this boy right here says J'habite à Paris. That means I live in Paris. Je suis français. I live in Paris. I am French. J'habite à Toronto. I live in Toronto. Je suis canadienne. Here this girl says Je suis canadienne. Here nous habitons à Pékin. We live in Pekin. Nous sommes chinois. We are Chinese. Nous habitons à Los Angeles. Nous sommes America. We are Americans. So here we've learned the 4 nationalities: Français, Canadien, Chinois, et America. Now let's quickly go over this conjugation of the verb habiter, which means to live. We have already covered the conjugations of ER category verbs in our previous video. So if you remember that, what we do is we remove the ending of the ER verbs, that is we remove R, and what we are left with, we remove ER, and what we are left with, that is HABIT, is now the radical, right? So what we do is, this is habiter, which means to live. To conjugate ER category verbs, we remove ER. We get rid of this. We are left with HABIT, this part, this is the radical. Now we add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ and ENT to this radical to conjugate ER category verb. So this is how we do it. Now let's read it here. J'habite, tu habites, E, ES. Il habite, elle habite, nous habitons, vous habitez, il habite, elle habite. So what we have done here is what I just told you. We add the endings E, ESE, ONS, EZ and ENT. So this becomes I live, you live, he or she lives, we live, you live, plural, and they live. So this is how we will be conjugating ER category verbs. To just revise or give you all a small homework, you can conjugate danser, which means to dance, and also you can conjugate parler. So for your practice, conjugate these 2 verbs, danser et parler. Danser means to dance, parler means to speak. So you should conjugate these and we'll discuss the conjugations in the next video. Okay, moving on to the next page. Now, nous habitons a few more cities in France. J'habite à Lyon, j'habite à Paris, j'habite à Grenoble, j'habite à Toulouse. So these are some cities in France. Now, here let's read this dialogue. Paul says, Bonjour, je m'appelle Paul. Je suis français. Vous vous appelez comment? Now we have read enough French for you all to understand this particular dialogue. So before I tell the meaning, I hope that most of you have already understood what he's trying to say. He says, good morning or hello. I am Paul. My name is Paul. I am French. How do you call yourself, or what is your name? So she says, Bonjour Paul, je m'appelle Anastasia. Je suis grec. Quel âge avez-vous? So she's from Greece. And she says, Quel âge avez-vous? What is your age? He says, J'ai 20 ans. J'habite à Lille. Et vous, vous habitez où? I live at Lille. And where do you live? Anastasia replies, Excellent. J'habite à Crète. C'est une belle vie. Au revoir, enchanté. He replies, Au revoir, Anastasia, enchanté. Now he says, J'ai 20 ans. I'm 20 years old. I live at Lille. And where do you live? She says, I live at Crète. It's a beautiful city. C'est une belle vie. Au revoir, goodbye, enchanté, nice to meet you. So this is about this particular dialogue. This is a formal conjugation because they are strangers. So they are addressing each other by using the pronoun sujet vous. So this is all about the first 2 pages of our chapter. We'll do the rest of the pages in the next video. Thank you.